executive director said to me, Carol, why don't you start Music for Minors in the East Bay?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, start it, you know. So I guess it was within me the desire to help children and my love of music. See, I really believe when you have a passion, you should follow your passion
Yeah.
and probably then find a way to get paid for it in some way to survive, but follow that passion. And so I modeled our program after the mother organization, but I had to connect with Ohlone College to get the college credit. So I had never written a nonprofit status application. And oh my gosh, I just did it. I don't know. It was a power beyond me that helped me to get through that. But I know I was just driven by that desire that children need music and they need it in their classroom and their lives, especially when they're young like that, when they're the most susceptible. And that has been proven true. Um, we've been doing this. Let's see, that was 1988 when I started the organization, recruited parents, got a board of directors going,
Yeah.
and now we're in our 33rd year.
Wow, how
Yeah.
fantastic is that? So, you think music has helped your students who were going through reading problems, right? They were not at the level. But you were also saying that music has helped other students also in your nonprofit. Do you have any stories like, you know,
Mm.
how do you think that music has actually helped some of your students?
Right. Oh, yes, for sure. And I really want to shout these out because to me it made the whole 33 years when with these three cases, and who knows how much more, because I've run into students that were in the Music for Minors 2 program, and one's a high school student. She says, Mrs. Zilli, I was in my high school class and the teacher asked if anybody knew the preamble to the Constitution. She says, and I recited it, and he couldn't believe I knew it from memory. And it's because we learned it in Music for Writers to put to a song and a rhythm pattern, and
Oh,
you don't forget it. So anyway,
you make it more interesting by putting music to something that's not so interesting to
right, and,
remember.
and it's using, and music gets into the brain
Yeah.
and integrates the brain, both hemispheres. And we did a lot with sequencing and memory retention. But these three stories, one happened in the 1990s in Milpitas, because our program, I started in Fremont. We are now in Newark Unified, Fremont, Castro Valley Unified, we've been in for many years, and Milpitas at that time. And then we found out that they wanted to hire music specialists. We do not compete with music specialists. We work hand in hand, and we would therefore go to schools that didn't have anything. We always target children that don't have music. And so this one little girl was in the class with one of our docents who was doing the dance pata pata, which is so popular in Africa. And she started to cry, and the docent noticed it, and then the teacher came over, and of course the docent continued with the class until it was over, and then the children went out to recess. And she walked over to the teacher and the child. She says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you sick or what happened?" And the teacher said, "No, no, she is really very happy because that dance was danced in her homeland every Saturday night. And when she came to this country, she thought she would never dance it
Uh,
again." So,
connecting this child to her
yeah,
country and
yeah,
something that she really wanted to through
that's
this music.
right.
Yeah.
Music is all about making connections because it's shared with people, and there's always emotions and feelings and things that we can connect to and reach. The second one was in Newark, and that was an autistic child who was in his special day class, and our Music for Minors 2 docent was teaching a kindergarten class, and the special day teacher thought, let's put him into that class and see how he does with 23 or four other students. Normally the class size is 6 or 7, for his special day. So he did, and the docent was sharing a rhythm pattern, and we usually clap ta for one beat and ti if there's two short beats, two half beats in that one ta.
Uh-huh.
And she put it to a poem, and
Mm.
she wrote on the board our symbols for ta and tt.
Okay.
And it was really fun. The kids loved it. He went back to his class and walked right up to their whiteboard and started writing the tas and the tt and reciting the poem that he had just learned. That made the teachers realize that he can learn in a setting with larger children, more children. And so they changed his whole course of study, started mainstreaming him into other subject areas. And what a tremendous
Wow.
improvement he made, and the joy that he had that
So
he was.
repetitive, basically, the child needed some kind of repetitive learning, and that's what he learned from your program. Such a simple way, right? Like what the teachers
Right.
were saying.
That's,
Fantastic.
and the third one story is about a little girl who never spoke. She had come to, I think it was Vallejo Mill School. She had come, I don't know too much about her background, but all I knew from the docent was she never spoke. But she would be there. Sometimes she'd smile, sometimes not. Sometimes she would kind of use her arms, because we do a lot of sign language, we do a lot of gesturing, because we want to involve the whole person. And the fact that we are a musical instrument, our bodies can make music and rhythm as well as our voices. So anyway, several months, I think it was in the spring, I don't know exactly the date, but the first thing that little girl did was to sing. Not to speak, but to sing. So music can break through barriers and help the brain function better, because it is integrative. I don't know if I said that right,
Yeah, yeah.
but it integrates both hemispheres. Here's a visual that will prove it. This is the left side of our brain and the right side. Brain scans are seen when an individual is walking and talking and eating, and this is what their brain looks like. And the minute that person experiences music, this is what the brain looks like. You mean music builds neuron bridges and connects both hemispheres of the brain, and the brain is working at fuller capacity? Yes. Well, how can we afford not to have it in the schools, in not only children's lives, in our lives,
Yeah,
adult?
that's what I was going to ask you. When are you starting music for adults? I want to be,
Oh,
I need to, with your passion and all the stories, I think I want to be involved in learning some music. I've never learned music.
we have thought about music for seniors. We have thought
Yeah.
about that. And when we have time, we got to pursue that, because, that's what is needed